Hey sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. While the cards may not seem monumental today, 1939 play ball was the beginning of a shift in the hobby. A larger size and clearer photographs offered card collectors more, and the industry began to grow as a result. Had World War II not intervened, 1939 may have been seen as a starting point for the modern hobby era. That year saw the first baseball cards from a company that would later become known as Bowman. Gum Inc. was founded by Warren Bowman around 1930 in Philadelphia. Despite the economic issues brought by the Great Depression, Gum Inc. grew each year. The company first entered the card business in 1938 with Horrors of War, which was considered controversial because it showed graphic images of war scenes. It was such a success in terms of sales, Bowman decided to get into the baseball card business the following year with the release of 1939 Play Ball. In 1939, no other gum companies were actively releasing regular baseball card sets. That immediately gave Gum Inc. a boost and established the upstart company as a leader. Naming the set 1939 Play Ball America, the cards were made to be slightly larger than what Gowdy had been issuing earlier in the decade. Issued in baseball's centennial season, the set is designated as R334 in the American Card Catalog and features a simple design that utilizes crisp black and white photographs of the player and no other elements. Measuring 2.5 inches by 3 1/8 inches, the cards are adorned with only a white border. Between Gum Inc. and their later sets under the Bowman name, the company would return to this design concept often. 1939, 1948 to 1950, and 1953. The backs featured the player's full name and an extensive biographical write-up. At the bottom, an advertisement mentions that there were 250 cards in the set, which is incorrect. Although the full set is numbered to 162, in reality, there were only 161 total cards. Card number 126 was never issued and was thought to be a purposeful decision in an attempt to keep people purchasing the complete set. Approximately half of the cards in the 1939 Play Ball set also have variations. The majority of the variation cards feature the player name either entirely in capital letters or in capital and lowercase letters. The rest simply update errors. 1939 Play Ball cards number 115 and above are considered high numbers. They are significantly more scarce and therefore more valuable. In addition to the variations, sample cards are occasionally found and are stamped on the back. These cards were issued into packs of other Gum Inc. products as a cross-selling promotion and are quite limited. The set features most of the stars of the era. Among them are a rookie card of Ted Williams and a popular early card featuring Joe DiMaggio. Earl Averill is the only Hall of Fame subject included in the high-numbered series, so his card is given a boost in value that might not otherwise be attached to his cards. An interesting card in the 1939 Play Ball set features Al Schacht clowning around, which was fitting as he was known as the Clown Prince of Baseball. Schacht was a former player and coach who eventually became a comedic entertainer, performing for the audience in the same manner as Max Patkin did later on and mascots still do today. A favorite among pre-war collectors, the only critique most collectors have of the 1939 Play Ball set is the omission of several key Hall of Fame players, including Lou Gehrig, Early Lombardi, Johnny Mize, Joe Cronin, Luke Appling, and Bob Feller. Despite that oversight, there are still plenty of marquee players to pursue. For those attempting to complete a higher grade set, the most notable condition issue is centering, which was very common for the time period. Perfectly centered examples command a significant premium on the secondary market. This is particularly true for the key cards in the set. In this video, I'm going to show the top 10 most valuable cards from the 1939 Play Ball set based on their PSA 4 values. I'll also give the values of those cards in higher grades, as well as the population count of those grades. Now, as a side note, because some cards have very low population counts, the values in some grades might not reflect current prices, since it may be a year or two or even more since a copy in that grade has been sold. Now, before I get to the top 10, here are the cards that just missed the top 10. At number 15, the Al Shocked card. At number 14, the Lefty Gomez card. At number 13, the Earl Averill card. At number 12, the Heine Manouche card. And at number 11, the Ray Barris card. So, which cards made the top 10 list? Let's go find out. At number 10, we have the Lloyd Wainer card. In a PSA 4, there have been 45 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $100. There have been 54 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $120. There have been 40 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $96. There have been 31 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $173. There have been 31 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $330. There have been 9 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in December of 2021 through REA and sold for $1,110. And just like every card on this top 10 list, there has not been a PSA 10 graded copy of the Lloyd Wainer card. At number 9, we have the Carl Hubbell card. In a PSA 4, there have been 89 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $101. There have been 96 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $152. There have been 92 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $220. There have been 72 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $310. There have been 36 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $480. There have only been 3 graded a PSA 9. The only PSA 9 sale in VCP's database took place in December of 2005 through Mastro Auctions and sold for $5,824, placing the Carl Hubbell at the number 3 spot in terms of PSA 9 graded copies on this list. At number 8, we have the Bobby Doerr card. In a PSA 4, there have been 54 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $115. There have been 53 copies graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $162. There have been 38 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $103. There have been 20 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $361. There have been 18 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $1,913. There's only been 1 graded a PSA 9. The only PSA 9 sale took place in August of 2006 through Mastro Auction and sold for $5,142, placing the Bobby Doerr at the number 4 spot in terms of PSA 9 graded copies. At number 7, we have the Bill Dickey card. In a PSA 4, there have been 55 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $134. There have been 63 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $188. There have been 65 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $217. There have been 48 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $300. There have been 42 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $400. There have been 6 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in February of 2021 through a PWCC listing on eBay and sold for $1,741. At number 6, we have the Mel Ott card. In a PSA 4, there have been 63 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $178. There have been 71 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $324. There have been 55 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $373. There have been 45 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $480. There have been 37 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $780. There have been 6 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in May of 2020 through Golden Auction and sold for $2,460. At number 5, we have the Charlie Gehringer card. In a PSA 4, there have been 67 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $180. There have been 61 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $220. There have been 49 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $110. There have been 44 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $264. There have been 24 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $540. There have only been 2 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in August of 2019 through a PWCC listing on eBay and sold for $2,552, placing the Charlie Gehringer card at the number 5 spot as well in terms of PSA 9 graded copies. At number 4, we have the Mo Berg card. In a PSA 4, there have been 51 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $255. There have been 60 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $357. There have been 42 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $446. There have been 30 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $1,750. There have been 13 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $725, although that price may be a little outdated. There have been 8 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in March of 2023 through eBay and sold for $2,286. At number 3, we have the Hank Greenberg card. In a PSA 4, there have been 130 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $296. There have been 131 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $381. There have been 88 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $568. There have been 62 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $1,715. There have been 48 graded a PSA 8. The last PSA 8 sale took place in April of 2024 through REA and sold for $2,100. Now, there has been one copy graded a PSA 9, but there has not been a reported sale of that PSA 9 copy in VCP's database. At number 2, we have the Joe DiMaggio card. In a PSA 4, there have been 272 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $2,539. There have been 242 graded a PSA 5. They sell for around $2,972. There have been 173 graded a PSA 6. They sell for around $3,807. There have been 123 graded a PSA 7. They sell for around $6,205. There have been 89 graded a PSA 8. They sell for around $14,436. There have been 13 graded a PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in April of 2023 through REA and sold for $102,000, placing the Joe DiMaggio also at the number 2 spot in terms of PSA 9 graded copies. And the most valuable card from the 1939 play ball set is the Ted Williams card. In a PSA 4, there have been 173 graded copies with a current VCP average price of $6,236. There have been 162 graded A PSA 5. They sell for around $7,249. There have been 117 graded A PSA 6. They sell for around $9,550. There have been 118 graded A PSA 7. They sell for around $17,500. There have been 88 graded A PSA 8. They sell for around $34,600. There have been 13 graded A PSA 9. The last PSA 9 sale took place in August of 2021 through Heritage and sold for $480,000, placing the Ted Williams also at the number 1 spot in terms of PSA 9 graded copies on this list. Well, there you go, the top 10 most valuable cards from the 1939 play ball set. As always, would love to know in the comments what you think about the 1939 play ball set and the cards that made the top 10 list. And stay tuned for next week's video in which I take a look at the 1940 play ball set. And if you've missed either of the last 2 videos in this series, you can check them out right here. With that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.